Hi, fellow artists. Today we need a whole bunch of crayons in your crayon box. I, however, left my crayons at school, so I'll be using some colored pencils. The first place I would start would be where it says black. I personally would start with black, then go to the purple, although we do learn to say violet in my room, because that's a big old word we need to know. The colors of the rainbow are Roy G. Biv, and they represent red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. So we get started using that from a very young age. Then blue, down to green, yellow, orange, and red. Now, at this age, we're really just trying to work on our fine motor skills. So, like I tell all the students, I would start first with the edges. Learn to turn your paper. Turning your paper is a good thing, where we just turn the paper, get that edge in. That helps us then when we accidentally go outside of the lines. And then right here. Now I would like to get some texture while I'm doing it, so I'm just going to go bing, 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 up and down, up and down, and up and down. And because I've put in that outlined edge, it works out really, really well. A little harder to go outside the edges now. I'm not going to be too concerned with getting every single little itty bitty white spot because it actually adds a little texture to it. So I'm going to go in a little darker in some places, make it look like it's been used. Well worn, we'll say. So there's my black one. Moving on to my violet. Now, this could be an open car or it could just be a door. I'm not exactly sure. So what I'm going to do once again is go around my outside edge in my vertical places, turn my paper, get a hold of those horizontals. I'm going to do under this door. There we go. Horizontal again, although it's in the vertical position now. And then I'm going to go up and down. Zigzag back and forth. Once again, not really concerned with leaving the white spots. More concerned, quite honestly, with staying in my lines. Back and forth. And now I have this whole area here. I want to do it a little lighter. Not exactly sure if that's a window. So I'm just going to leave that in like that. All right. Then I go on to blue. If you've noticed, I've left the wheels alone. I like turning my paper. I find that that makes my life a whole lot easier to get everything done. Little wiggle squiggle. Now our friends at home are going to be taking a lot longer to do this. But I'm a grown-up, so I do things, I don't know, 3 times faster, probably. There's my blue. I need my green. This is probably not the best green for this, but it's going to work. Vertical sides. Across. Now, when it comes to this door, it looks like it's supposed to be sealed shut. So I might make those darker. Go up and down. I'm going up and down here because I'm going to go from side to side in just a moment. And there we go. We kind of get a little more texture in there. So it looks well worn. And then here, I'm going to go little zigzags through the whole thing. There we go. Just zigzags. I'm more concerned with the student staying inside the line. This yellow, I'm not sure if this is going to show up on the camera at all. Wonder what this is full of. It has a hatch down below. I don't know. One of you train experts should have to tell me. I picture it full of grain. So how about if we say it's full of corn because it's yellow? How's that? There we go. Now go in with details. Here's some orange. Definitely, oh, that's tan. What am I thinking? Here's some orange. Now this one, I'm going to go around in this way a little bit more. So I am going to go here, right along that edge, right along this edge. And then if you're up for the challenge, it gets a little tricky because we're going around in that curve-like motion. Once again, I'm not really concerned with getting all of the white spots. Although my older students would say, oh no, that can't be the same art teacher. There we go. And curve. There. And I'm going to make this really, really dark. A nice oval. I'm afraid the perspective's off on this one a little bit. And a diagonal up there. And then, of course, you have to have red for the caboose. So I always do that edge first. Zigzag, zigzag, back and forth. Gives me a little buffer. And then, oh, there we go. This way, get that edge. And the edge, oh my goodness, these windows are going to be so tricky. So let's get that edge in. Get that edge in. And then I'm actually going to go under them too. I think that helps a lot. Whew, and then I can just zigzag this back and forth. Remember, it's about staying in your lines. There'll be times when you don't stay in your lines, but this is not one of them. We want to get our hands ready for writing letters and making numbers. Ooh. So I go around that circle a little bit, up and down in between there, and at the edge. Now, since this is the caboose, I'm going to do a little something fancy there, add a little red there. Now, I personally would probably go through and make a lot of these horizontal parts gray, because I would consider them part of the steel. So that's easy enough. Just zigzag a little bit back and forth. Go, Mr. Fruit Fly, be free. A little back and forth. I better do this one. And the caboose is usually red and white, so I'm going to leave that one. Add a little gray down here. A little gray down there. I think these are steel supports for my funnel. So that would be gray. That would be gray. And I have to be real honest with the train that goes past our house. The wheels in some places are very shiny. When you're looking at them face on, they're very, very shiny where they hit the rail over and over again. Brilliant, like glowing, shiny. But on the side, they're kind of disgusting. So we're going to make that black. And this is a good, nice motion to do with the kids. They just go right on over that. Now, some of this, what we're looking for, staying in the lines, getting used to the motion, like the circle motion here. That's a good motion to have for making letters. And you can use your imagination and decide on yours. We do want to see black, violet, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red, just because that's what they're labeled. This is not necessarily the most creative portion, but in art at this age, we try and do a little bit of both. And I thought you would so enjoy that train video that I had to have something close. And then you can get creative on your engine. You can do that just about any way you want. If you have one of those really wonderful silver crayons, I'd love to see that on the wheels of that one. I don't have any silver though. I left my crayons at school. So I'm going to make, oh, you know what? I'm going to add some red. Might not be realistic colors, but I like it. And red here. Notice I turn my paper any which way I want so that I think I can get the best angle. And then let's use another color. Let's use some yellow. We'll use that for the wheel here to make it a little fancier. All right, and just like I do for my other kids, I don't finish anything. Because if I finish it, a lot of times your examples look just like mine. And who wants that? Nobody wants that. So here's what it is finished. And then if I would like, I would cut right apart here and here, and I could make my own little booklet. What I would do, if I make my own little booklet then, I would on the other side add my own train car. So that way every time you turn it over, you see a new train car. And that's where you can be extremely creative. But please don't forget to put wheels on that bottom of your train car. Otherwise, it's going to be really hard to attach to your train. Thank you so much, fellow artists. I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.